All right, welcome to Hannity. We begin tonight with this Fox News alert. And breaking tonight, we're going to continue to track the very latest developments all across the state of Florida after Hurricane Ian carved out a path of destruction all across the state's southwest coast, right into the central part of Florida, and then up the east coast. Look at your screen. You have entire communities wiped out and destroyed. Fort Myers Beach, absolutely devastated. We're continuing to receive more and more updates on the extent of this damage. And of course, the search and rescue operations are underway. First responders, they have been mobilized, emergency crews. They're doing everything they can to rescue those that are trapped as residents now continue to suffer under the devastating storm surge, from Naples to Sarasota, Fort Myers, beyond. The storm is now barreling towards the coast of South Carolina. It looks to be headed straight towards Charleston. We'll have full Fox coverage throughout the night tonight. But first, as we have shown you on this program night after night, your president, the president of the United States of America, Joe Biden, is not well. He is weak, he is frail, frankly decrepit. He is deteriorating cognitively at a pretty rapid pace, and he's not fit to be the commander-in-chief. Yesterday, frankly, may have been Joe Biden's lowest moment yet, which is kind of saying a lot, during a White House event on combating hunger, which honored the late Indiana Congresswoman, Jackie Walorski. Well, Joe Biden called out for the deceased Congresswoman and at one point said, I guess Jackie, where's Jackie? And wondered where she was. Where's she seated in the audience? Take a look.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
Cory Booker here. Where's Jackie? Not funny. Sadly, this may have been one of Joe's most disturbing moments, and that's, again, saying a lot. Remember, at the time of her death, Biden ordered flags to be lowered at half-mast. He released a heartfelt tribute to the long-serving lawmaker, and then Joe Biden apparently forgot, ruining what would have been a moving and heartfelt tribute, which is what it was supposed to be. And the White House, they tried to play defense for Biden. That ended up just making it much worse. And here's Biden's press secretary rambling on and on and on, and it's pretty bad. Take a look.
What happened in the hunger event today? The president appeared to look around the room for an audience member, a member of Congress who passed away last month. He seemed to indicate she might be in the room. What happened there?
So the president was, as you all know, you guys were watching today's event, a very important event on food insecurity. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue.
He said, Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? She must not be here.
No, I totally understand. I just explained she was on top of mind.
I'm trying to get my head around the response. If the late Congresswoman was top of mind for the president and her family was expected to be here and that's what he was thinking about, why was he looking for her? I'm not trying to be snarky here.
No, I mean, and I'm...
The connection between what you were saying and what he said there.
And again, I think people can understand.
One more time back to the question about Congresswoman Walorski.
I'm not sure why. Why one more time?
The confusing part is why, if she and the family is top of mind, does the president think that she's living and in the room?
I don't find that confusing.
Ever wonder why the media mob never would speak out against me, pointing out the obvious? Because they all saw what we saw. We were the only ones brave enough to say it. And ask yourself, why couldn't the Biden White House just admit to the error? Why can't they, for once, kind of be honest, a little transparent with you, the American people? You already know. It is because they know the president is a cognitive wreck, and they are the enablers that are covering for him. They know he's not fit to serve. That's why they hide him. That's why he does less than one event on average per day. That's why he's at the beach all the time. God only knows how many times he's really seeing doctors. And they know with each passing day, Joe Biden is going from bad to worse in every way imaginable. Worse on policy, worse on stamina, worse on energy, worse on every front. But, of course, Biden's unquestioning allies in the mob and the media, they didn't think it was that big a deal, but maybe we need to ask a question or two. Here's how the ladies at that hard-hitting news show, The View, graded his remarks. Listen specifically to Joyless Behar.
You can go after him for forgetting that someone has passed. I mean, and she passed last month, not like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know, I think what it really shows is that this country is so ageist. This country has a problem with age. You know, you go to other countries and our elders are revered. They're revered because of the knowledge that they have acquired. And this is a man who has worked in government his entire life.
Ageless. Oh, we miss Joyless. Anyway, today, it didn't get all that much better for Joey, where he appeared to forget the name of his very own female administrator and then aimlessly, once again, wandered off, shaking air, doing that usual thing that he does that is very awkward and embarrassing. But unfortunately, his vice president, she's not doing a whole lot better because, again, today, another word salad, she found a way to, let's say, embarrass the entire U.S. on the world stage. She was visiting the DMZ, proclaiming that America had an alliance with North Korea. Little rocket man, Kim Jong-un. Take a look.
So the United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And today, there were several demonstrations of just that point.
All right, but the blunders for the White House didn't stop there. The vice president had this awkward moment while observing the DMZ. Again, does she know anything about world events, history, where she is, what she's doing, where she's going, who she's talking to? Take a look.
It's something to actually see this with your own eyes. And it's so close.
It's 50 meters away now. That's
right,
North Korea
that's
at the woodline.
That's it.
All right, there you have it, America. These are the far-left failures that are running your country, and it's why Democrats are that desperate to distract from Biden's disaster as a president and, of course, desperate to demonize Republicans at all costs. Here is just a small sample. Obama saying, well, Republicans don't like Joe's border policy because they don't want people of a different color coming into the country. Clinton comparing Trump supporters to Nazis. Then the big bad Biden MAGA Republican speech. Take a look.
The biggest fuel behind the Republican agenda is related to immigration and the fear that somehow America's character is going to be changed if people of darker shades, there are too many of them here.
You saw the rally in Ohio the other night. Trump is there ranting and raving for more than an hour, and you have these rows of young men with their arms raised. I thought, what is going on?
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Democrats, we know they can't run on their record. They can't run on the economy. What, a 41-year high of inflation? They can't run on border security. We now set a record, 2 million, and we have 1 quarter left in the year. This will be the biggest year for illegal immigration in the country's history. They can't run on foreign policy. They can't run on their record on crime, you know, defund, dismantle, no bail laws. They can't run on their student loan free handout record. They can't run on their record on anything. Price of gas, they can't run on that either. Anyway, so I will ask you again tonight, because in 2 days now, are you better off now than before Joe Biden took office as your president? Are you better off under the surging inflation, the sinking 401ks? Are you better off with these higher gas prices? Are you better off paying higher prices for everything you buy at every store you go to? Are you better off with open borders? Are you better off with opioids and fentanyl pouring into this country, human traffickers fueling crime and chaos all across this great land of ours? Are you better off under the growing threat of nuclear war? Are you better off under Biden's weak diplomacy? Can you name a single thing that Joe Biden has done to make your life better? Has he done anything to improve the country? Just one thing? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, You know, they can't go one day without baffling blunders and bizarre word salads and embarrassing the entire country. They can't go a day without baselessly slandering, smearing Republicans, conservatives, and demonizing conservatives. They can't go one day without surrendering their agenda to their far-left, climate alarmist religious cult base. They run the party. They're hell-bent on destroying our way of life and destroying capitalism. In 40 short days, 40 days, not 42, you get the final say. You get to send the message. This is your opportunity to get this country back on track. These far-left socialist disasters are not the direction that we need for this country. Instead, we should want an agenda centered around law and order and safety and security so you can pursue happiness, border laws, national sovereignty, all of these things we talk about every day. We have to control our borders. We need background checks. We need health checks during a pandemic. Make sure people will be able to take care of themselves financially, won't be a burden on the American people. How about fixing the disaster of our educational system? Offer choice to parents and education. How about less government taxation, less government bureaucracy? Not only go back to the Trump policies of American energy independence, how about American energy dominance? And so much more. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.